You're listening to the audio production of The Neighboring Church, Getting Better at What Jesus Says Matters Most, by Rick Rusaw and Brian Mavis, published by Thomas Nelson and read by Craig Hinkle and Jeff Durham, forward read by John Behrens. Please note that you may download an accompanying PDF that provides enhanced materials for this audiobook. To download the PDF, please visit harperchristianaudio.com. Forward. What is neighboring? If you are like me, you didn't know the word neighbor could even be used that way. I thought the word neighbor was a noun. That is, until I met a few friends who took it more seriously than most Christians I've ever known. I've come to learn what should have been obvious, that neighboring is one of the most important and practical priorities for a Christian. It kind of makes sense, right? After all, Jesus did list it as one of the top 2 commands his followers should engage. But even without Jesus' command, it would simply make pragmatic sense for the church to lead the way in being better neighbors. Our society is growing tired of religion. Americans even use words like extreme and irrelevant to describe Christians, with almost half, 42%, convinced people of faith are part of the problem in our world, not the solution. This is unacceptable, but how will it ever change? We tend to overcomplicate the strategy of Jesus about the kingdom of God going forward. We overthink our mission and then make our own creative plans and incisive tactics for how we can best serve God's mission, all the while forgetting his very basic plan. We need to recover the simplicity. The Neighboring Church will bring you back to square one. You'll be reminded of the amazing idea Jesus had for reaching the world and just how rudimentary he meant for it to be. Forget your grand plans to make a difference for the kingdom or to find your life purpose somewhere out there. The message of this book will convict you to the core that the kingdom of God comes when we simply walk across the street. Jesus' plan was simple. But even if it should be more accessible 2,000 years later, it's still not easy being a good neighbor today. With garage doors closing and social media letting us follow, like, and share from the comfort of our homes, our need for real relationship is being filled with an empty counterfeit. What used to be common neighborly practice now must be relearned. Who better to be the teacher than a humble and serving church? Of course, in a globalized world, our neighbors reach far beyond those we can see through our front windows. But what if, instead of being overwhelmed, we started there? It's in the small steps of obedience we take for God that we will discover the brilliance of his.
Sample complete. Ready to continue?